Hello everybody and welcome back, and right now we are slowly entering our footprinting section, which will be the last part of the beginner section, including the scanning section that we will do right after we cover the footprinting. Well, before we begin, while our machine is starting up, let us just explain a little bit more what footprinting is. So, first of all, there are two types of footprinting. One is active and one is passive. Now, the active footprinting basically requires some interaction with the target that you're trying to attack, while the passive footprinting is basically just gathering all of the public available information for your target. So, for example, if your target has a Facebook account, a Twitter, or basically any other account or any other source of information from which you can gather some of the valuable stuff you might need. Now, let's say, for example, your target is a company, and as a public information online, you have that company, for example, uses Windows XP on their machines. You can already cut out the Linux exploits and Windows 10 or 7 exploits, and you can basically just focus on writing a Windows XP exploit. Now, we all know that nobody really uses XP anymore because it is vulnerable and it is basically an open box. But that was just an example. There are lots of public information which you can find. No, sorry, there was a cut in my recording. So basically what I was going to say is let's go to some of the practical methods with Google hacking. We'll cover Google hacking in this tutorial, so let me just log in, test 1, 2, 3, 4. And as soon as this machine boots up, as soon as my desktop boots up, we will open Firefox and we will run some of the specific commands in the Google search bar in order to find some of the stuff we might need. Now, this is just one of the tools for footprinting that we will cover, and basically the other ones, which will be, for example, Harvester, Nikto, Shodan, and Whois, we will cover in the next lectures. But for now on, let us just open our Firefox. So just click on your Firefox icon, and basically, since it will lead you to your Kali Linux website, you want to navigate to Google, so just type here the Google.com. I'm just waiting for my Firefox to open. It is taking a little bit of time. Here we go. It is basically opening right now, so we can just leave here. We can add another tab and go on to Google.com. Okay, it finally opened. Now let's say, for example, that you want to find all of the websites that have a user input that could possibly be vulnerable to the SQL injection, for example. So you just, on Google search bar, you just type here in URL, then the 2 dots, space, then the apostrophe, then index.php question mark, and then ID equals. Just find equals on my keyboard. Here we go, and then apostrophe once again. Now what this will do is it will find all the websites that end in the index.php question mark ID equals and then some number. Now what does that mean? Well, basically, if we click on any of these, let me just check right here, your connection is not secure. Go back, let's go check another one. I'm not sure why it says that. Well, I have an idea, but here we go. So basically, as you can see right here, this website could possibly be vulnerable to the SQL injection. We can check that easily with the apostrophe, and if we try to log in, login failed due to incorrect email address, wrong passphrase. So basically this site isn't vulnerable, at least at the first try. But we won't try it anymore since we shouldn't really do that. Basically, I just want to show you how to filter out all of the websites that actually have a user input which could be vulnerable to the SQL injection. So basically anywhere where you can type something and then the website page can process it could be vulnerable to the user input, which could be a piece of code that you would trick the server to run for you. So, but more about that in the website hacking section. Now, that was just one of the commands. Let me just go on Google once again. I don't know why I closed it. In order to find the commands you might need, there is a Google hacking database, which basically you just type here in Google hacking database. And you click here on the first link and it will lead us to a website with a bunch of the commands we use in order to find out the things we might need. For example, passwords or PDF files or Excel files or anything. So let's just wait for this to open. Here it is. And as you can see, it says right here, it is the exploit database website. The Google hacking database. These are just a bunch of the commands which you just copy and paste into Google search bar and it will list you all the files you are searching. I'm not really sure what these commands are. It says right here, if we click on the one, it will lead us to the command, which is this one. Now, I can only guess what this does, but we can read it. Description: Dork for finding login portals were well-known company websites hosted on famous hosting providers such as all of these. Basically, so this command does that. We can try it out if we want to. It's not really that useful for us, but why not? So you just copy the command. You can do it from here or you can just copy it from here. It was the first one, so we will just copy and paste it and we will see how it works. So here we are. They are all basically account login. As we can see, account login, my account login, my account login. So it filtered out all of the websites which have a directory which is /myaccount_login. Now let's see, for example, another one. These are, as you can see, listed with a date. So this one was yesterday. We can go, let's go off on this one, Untitled Index of SSH. Now you can read right here that data you find: web servers version, SSH version, SSH keys, SSH logins, and SSH.exe files. As it says right here, I found a lot of servers using SSH 1.4. They are usually +5 years old and full of security holes. A search in exploit database for SSH1 turns up +40,000 exploits for these. Some may work. So this could be a useful command for us. We can copy it and see what we find with it. We won't be attacking any of these since we don't have permission, but it sure could be useful later on. As you can see, we will not mess with this right now. What we want to do is only use these commands, and we will cover hacking of websites later on, but not on these websites, but on the websites that we do own, which we will make in our own virtual environment. So you need to use these commands only. You can basically, if you want to search for the example PDF files, you can type here quick search PDF and it will show you the PDF, I believe. Let's see how to find a PDF file. Email delivery, we do not want that. In text, please find attached login password. Well, let's see, this could be a PDF file that could contain a password. I'm not sure if I can do it like this. I can. So as you can see right here, these all files are PDF files. You can see right here, all of this is a PDF. Let's see, if we open one, it will ask us to save these files. We do not want to save it. Basically, this is just all of the PDF files available on the internet. Let us just see the more accurate explanation of this command. Passwords and information on targets, employees, customers, also for spear phishing. Replace PDF extension with any other document extension like doc, docx, text, txt. Okay. So that was PDF. You can use any of these commands. If you want to know what it does, you just click on the command. And this one really doesn't have any explanation. Let's just check out another one. As you can see, this command, which is pretty huge, will help you to find out videos published in Google Drives. So example, yeah, okay, so PDF, MP4, okay, so bunch of file extensions for videos. I'm not really sure why PDF is there, but there is possibly a reason for that. So let's say now, for example, we do not want a PDF file, we want an Excel file. We just type here. Wait, how do you type Excel? I'm not really sure. Is there an H in there? Let's just check out real fast. Yeah, it's just Excel, so let's see once again. No matching records found. Show 50, show... Okay, so let me just try it like this. Now we set here on 120 commands, so let me just check this out. .xls I'm finding in order to find an Excel file. But it doesn't really matter, so here we are. There is an XLS file, which is an Excel file. And basically, if you click there, we can see what else it will find: a mix of login, portals, and passwords. But this is a huge command. We will not use it right now. So that's all I wanted to show you. As you can see, they basically explain for every command what it does, such as, for example, this one or this one, admin dashboard. If we click on it, you can see the explanation, which is basically just a lot of login portals. And it could be useful if you, for example, wanted to find some of the vulnerable sites to the specific attacks, like we showed in the first command, or in the first string that we typed into the Google, which was that index.php $ID equals, which would lead us to all of the websites with user input that could be possibly vulnerable to SQL injection. So that's about it for the Google hacking. Now, if you want to, you can scroll down and check out all of these other commands. They could be useful for you, but we won't be doing that since there are lots of them. And we'll continue footprinting in the next lecture. So I hope I see you there, and take care. Bye.